Good evening and welcome back to the Martinez Report. It's me, JP, and before we get started, I wanted to thank all of you for helping the channel reach over 100 subscribers. The show is still new and we're still growing, but I want to thank you all for watching, for supporting, for leaving a like, for leaving a very nice comment, and for subscribing. You guys do not understand how thankful I am for that. Now, let's get started. Now for our first topic, I wanted to talk about Erika Kirk. As if you haven't seen yet, she was on the Charlie Kirk show today as a guest, and she had several exciting announcements to make. Now of course, it's been about 2 weeks since Charlie Kirk's passing, and since then, Erika Kirk has announced that she will be the new CEO of Turning Point USA. And if you were wondering what's going to happen to Turning Point events, they will continue with new guests, new speakers, and today on the Charlie Kirk show, Erika Kirk joined other members of the Turning Point team to discuss the future of Turning Point USA. The first thing Erika said was that she assured the viewers and the fans that Turning Point is not going anywhere and that it will continue and be stronger than ever.
The Charlie Kirk show is not going anywhere. My husband's voice will live on. The show will go on. We will have rotating hosts, rotating casts, rotating people coming on.
We've got some great people next week already.
Unbelievable. We will have consistency. The members only group will continue to go on. All of his socials that God has blessed us with, the people who follow those socials will go on. Nothing is changing.
Erika Kirk announced that all of Charlie Kirk's social media accounts will continue posting and publishing content. That includes his Instagram, his TikTok, his Twitter, and his YouTube. Why, you may ask? Because Charlie Kirk didn't want this movement to die. Charlie Kirk did so much to grow the pages that he created to millions and millions of followers, and after his passing, those followers doubled, tripled, and even quadrupled. So the Turning Point team and Erika will use Charlie Kirk's platform to continue spreading the conservative message and reposting old videos, new videos, and stuff of that sort. Erika Kirk described Turning Point USA as the North Star of the conservative movement, a movement so strong, so grand, that inspires so many people to get out there, to go online, to go to campuses, and to continue what Charlie started. And before you ask, are they just gonna recycle old Charlie Kirk clips? Well, the answer is no, as Erika Kirk and the rest of the Turning Point team announced that they have hundreds of hours of footage of Charlie Kirk either in a campus tour or giving a speech or giving an interview in places around the world that they never published. And over time, they will release this footage of Charlie Kirk that no one has seen for the public. Now, Erika Kirk made sure to let everyone know that Turning Point is just getting started. There were so many plans that Charlie Kirk had in store, so many events that he wanted to hold, so many places he wanted the movement to grow and to go to, that Erika Kirk will not let that die. The movement is stronger than ever, and Charlie is still inspiring so many people to speak out. And I thought it was really touching that during the Charlie Kirk show, Erika Kirk and the other members of Turning Point USA made note that Charlie was a visionary, and he wasn't just thinking about this year or next year. Charlie had a roadmap, a blueprint for what he wanted to do and how he wanted to grow Turning Point USA for the next few years till 2030, and they will be following that blueprint in honor of Charlie Kirk.
We were working on some big things, right up until the end, and we've talked about that a lot. Like a lot of the guiding vision that we're using right now to kind of steady the ship and figure out where we're going is the things Charlie himself
100%.
Told us where we were going.
100%. And similar with Turning Point USA, Charlie had a plan moving past 2030 that he's shared with the team and has implemented. So we're not going anywhere.
We have the blueprints.
We have the blueprints. We have our marching orders, and we are just remaining humble and grateful to God, and we're remaining just stewards to what God has blessed us with. And I know Charlie's going to continue to guide us, and the Lord will continue to guide us.
Now, it has been incredible to see how many people Charlie Kirk has inspired. I've seen it myself, not just online. I've seen it in person. I've seen it at school. I've seen it on the streets. I see people everywhere with either a shirt of Charlie Kirk or a poster of Charlie Kirk. He inspired so many people, including myself. And I'm so proud and happy of Erika Kirk and the rest of the Turning Point team that is not going to let this die off, that is not going to, let it end, but that this movement is going to grow and is going to continue to go across the world. And I have to tell you, for me personally, it makes me so excited. I can't wait to see the events that they're going to hold, the tours that they're going to go on. They're going on one right now, the Turning Point. This is the Turning Point tour, which I made a video on. And I'm so inspired by the other conservative commentators that have stepped up in the wake of Charlie's death to say, hey, Charlie would have wanted us to push this movement forward. And so we're going to do that. We're going to, go on new tours, keep on speaking with people that disagree with us, debating with them peacefully. And maybe if all goes well, we could change their mind. Because that's what Charlie would have wanted. He wouldn't have wanted anything violent, nothing crazy. What Charlie did, what he dedicated his life to, is to speaking with people that he disagreed with civilly. And so, I recommend checking out the Erika Kirk episode with her as a guest on the Charlie Kirk show. It was really great. She was there for a good chunk of it. And, I hope that she continues to be on the podcast, although she did say she was just going to be a guest. So she's not going to be a recurring member of the podcast, but she will step in here and there. And they did make note that the podcast will go on and they will have different guests coming in, in place of Charlie to honor him. So let me know what you think of the future of Turning Point USA under the leadership of Erika Kirk. Let me know if you're going to attend any future campus events, if you're going to attend AmFest. I love snow, and for me, I'm so excited for the future of Turning Point USA. Okay, so as many of you know, after the passing of Charlie Kirk, many people were inspired and emboldened to start their own tours and to go to different campuses and, kind of follow in the footsteps of Charlie Kirk. One in particular that has caught my attention and is hosted by two people, Cam Higby and David Kite, and shortly after Charlie's passing, they announced that they were going on a Fearless tour, where they were going all across 50 states, 50 stops, to 50 universities, and it has been great to see them going to different colleges and following in the footsteps of Charlie Kirk and speaking with people who disagree with them and having a polite conversation. Now, for the most part, this was going very well until Tuesday when they visited the HBCU, Tennessee State University. Things got heated. The two conservatives arrived with their table. They set up their table. They had their MAGA hats on. They put up the two posters. And shortly after that, a bunch of HBCU, Tennessee State University students showed up and started harassing them, calling the cops on them, spitting on them, throwing things at them, stealing their signs. And it ended up with the two conservatives having to flee Tennessee State University. Now, shortly after, the college released a statement saying that, the two conservatives from the Fearless tour had no authorization or permit to enter the space, the campus, and hold this event. And that might be fair. However, in the same statement, they said that at all times, TSU students conducted themselves in a professional and respectful manner. Clearly.
Hey, you can't don't do that. Come on. Yo. You better not, boy. You better not. Okay. Bring the sign back.
Now, this whole thing caused a huge fiasco online. There was people on the HBCU side saying these MAGA people shouldn't be allowed in college campuses. And then there was the sane side saying, why are these college kids attacking these two guys? They're just sitting down, they're just talking. They weren't inciting anything. They weren't inciting violence. They were literally just sitting there talking with a microphone, trying to talk to them. And they weren't having it. So I saw a lot of people online calling for HBCUs to be defunded, which was funny. But when you realize that Tennessee State University only had a 31% graduation rate, maybe that starts to make some sense. But anyways, I think that the behavior displayed by the Tennessee State University students was absolutely unacceptable. They cannot just berate these people for just sitting there and talking. They weren't doing anything. The violent ones were the HBCU students who were literally throwing stuff at them, spitting at them, stealing their signs, which is a violation of personal property. It's terrible. And to think that these guys were following the steps of Charlie Kirk, who was literally assassinated for doing what they're doing right now, is crazy. Now, what bothers me so much, and what I've seen a lot of people online, echoing the same sentiment, is that these people from HBCU, these students, were the same ones that were crying a week ago when Jimmy Kimmel got canceled, screaming, "Oh my gosh, this is a violation of free speech. People should be able to say whatever they want." But these guys, they go to a campus with their signs saying whatever they want, and these guys attack them for no reason. Like, it doesn't matter. You can't just attack somebody for speaking. It doesn't matter how much you disagree with what they say. You cannot hit someone, you cannot grab them, you cannot attack them, you cannot throw things at somebody because they were just talking. It's so disgusting, and I'm glad that there's been a lot of people calling them out. A lot of people on social media, a lot of fellow students calling these people out, because this was disgraceful. And I can only hope that the people from the Fearless Tour, those two conservatives, get some security for their next stops, because this cannot be repeated. Now, to conclude the video, I wanted to share a video of a young woman that I saw on TikTok, pretty much echoing the same sentiment that we're all feeling right now. And so I'll let it play.
Honestly, I'm disappointed that so many grown folks are making videos encouraging these young black people to treat other people the way they don't want to be treated. Y'all cry and play the victim for every little thing. Y'all always shouting out discrimination, racism, segregation. You feel uncomfortable in the environment that you're in. You're oppressed, you're this, you're that. However, everything y'all spew about everybody else, y'all doing it to everybody else. And once again, selective outrage.
I want to thank every single one of you for helping my channel surpass 100 subscribers. This has been a huge blessing, and I read all the comments, all the support. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you, and I'm so excited for you guys to be on this journey with me. And I have so many plans for this channel, and I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you. So let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.